"You make me feel 40 and trapped," she said while texting a 24-year-old. So I let her go. Now she's 30, single, and watching me build the life she threw away. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I should have seen it coming when Sarah started mentioning Tyler's name 3 times in every conversation. Tyler said the funniest thing today about how all the older women at work try too hard with their makeup. She'd say while scrutinizing herself in our bathroom mirror for the 10th time that morning. "Older women? You're 29. I'd reply, not looking up from my coffee. "Exactly. That's what I told him. I'm not like them." But she was starting to act like them, whatever that meant. New skincare routine, new workout schedule, new clothes that looked like they belonged on someone fresh out of college. 4 years together, and suddenly everything about our life needed an upgrade. Tyler was the new hire at her fashion retail company. 24, fresh out of some state school, the kind of guy who posted gym selfies with motivational quotes about grinding and living your best life. Sarah showed me his Instagram once, all abs and protein shakes and group photos at clubs I'd never heard of. "He's so energetic," she'd say. "Like, he's always doing something. Always living. And what am I doing? You know what I mean." But I didn't. I thought we were living. We had our routines, our favorite restaurants, our weekend Netflix binges, our talks about maybe getting a bigger place together. I thought that was life, building something steady, something real. The night she left, I came home from work to find her stuffing clothes into the same suitcase we'd used for our trip to Portland last summer. "I can't do this anymore, Jake," she said without looking at me. "When I'm with you, I feel like I'm 40. We do the same things, watch the same shows, order the same takeout. So we'll try new things. We can. It's not about trying new things." She finally turned around, and I could see she'd been crying, but her jaw was set like she'd already made peace with this decision. It's about feeling alive. Tyler makes me remember what it's like to be young. The name hung in the air between us like a confession. "Tyler from your work. We didn't plan this, okay? It just happened. But I can't pretend anymore that this is what I want." I sat down on our bed, my bed now, I guess, and watched her fold the sweater I'd bought her for Christmas. 4 years, Sarah. We were talking about moving in together permanently. That's exactly the problem. She held up the sweater, seemed to consider it, then put it back in the drawer. Moving in together, settling down, becoming some boring couple. I'm 29, not 45. What's wrong with being 29 and settled? Everything. She zipped up the suitcase with more force than necessary. I should still be figuring things out, still be excited about what's next. With you, I know exactly what's next. Same job, same apartment, same conversations about whether we can afford a house, same Friday night pizza, same everything until we're actually 45 and wondering where our lives went. I wanted to argue, to point out that stability wasn't the same as stagnation, that knowing what's next could be a good thing. But looking at her face, I realized she'd already had this entire conversation in her head and decided I was the problem. "So you're leaving?" "I'm leaving. For Tyler." "For me." Tyler he reminds me who I used to be. I helped her carry her stuff to her car. I don't know why. Maybe because 4 years of loving someone doesn't just switch off, even when they're telling you that loving them made them feel old. She kept looking at me like she expected me to fight harder, to make some grand gesture or promise to change. But what was I supposed to change into? A 24-year-old? "Jake, say something. Drive safe." She stared at me for a long moment, then got in her car and left. My brother called 3 days later. "You're not even going to fight for her? Fight for someone who thinks being with me makes her feel old? What's the point?" "The point is you loved her." "Yeah, I did." Past tense. Has to be. I didn't stalk her social media, but Sarah wasn't exactly discreet about her new life. Mutual friends would mention seeing her posts, gym photos with Tyler, nightlife shots at clubs I'd never heard of, captions about living authentically and embracing youth. She'd apparently dyed her hair platinum blonde and started wearing crop tops to work. She looks happy. Our friend Jen told me over coffee, in that careful way people deliver news they think might hurt you. Good for her. Don't you want to know? No. I meant it. I changed my routines, picked up the hobbies I'd let slide during our relationship, started reading again. I got promoted at work. Turned out I had more time to focus when I wasn't constantly reassuring someone that wanting a stable relationship didn't make me boring. I started running, not to get ripped like Tyler, but because I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed it. The first text came 6 months later. "Hey, how have you been? Miss talking to you." I stared at it for a while, then typed back, "I'm good. Hope you're well. Maybe we could grab coffee sometime. Catch up." "I don't think that's a good idea." She didn't respond, but 2 weeks later my phone rang at 11 p.m. "Jake, please just talk to me for 5 minutes." "What do you want, Sarah?" "I made a mistake." I was confused. I was scared of getting older. I wasn't thinking clearly. "Okay. That's it. Just okay. What do you want me to say?" "That you understand. That people make mistakes." That 4 years meant something. It did mean something. To me. The line went quiet. I could hear music in the background, like she was calling from a bar. "So that's it. You're just done." "I was done 6 months ago. You were the one who decided we were done. But I'm telling you I was wrong." "About what?" "About feeling old with me?" "You weren't wrong about that." "Jake, you said I made you feel 40. That being with me felt like settling." "You weren't lying." "I was being dramatic." "You were being honest. Maybe the first time in months." She hung up. I went back to my book. Sarah's friend Lisa called me the next week. "She's really struggling, Jake. She knows she messed up." "That's unfortunate." "Don't you care at all?" "I cared for 4 years." "She decided that made her feel old." "She's different now?" "She's learned." "Lisa, I'm going to stop you right there. Sarah left me because she wanted to feel young and alive. If she's not feeling young and alive anymore, that's not my problem to solve. You're being cruel." "I'm being honest. Something I wish I'd done more of when we were together." Through the friend network, I eventually pieced together what happened. Tyler had been fun for a while, until Sarah turned 30 and he started making jokes about her being over the hill. Until he started inviting younger and younger women to their group outings. Until he ghosted her for a 22-year-old Instagram model who didn't need to try so hard to fit in. Sarah had spent money she didn't have trying to keep up with his lifestyle, expensive dinners, weekend trips, clothes for clubs she was too old for but pretended to enjoy. She'd alienated friends with her constant posts about living authentically while clearly living a lie. She'd gotten written up at work for showing up hungover too many times. I learned all this at our mutual friend Mike's birthday party 8 months after the breakup. I almost didn't go when I heard Sarah might be there, but Emma convinced me. Emma was a teacher I'd met at a bookstore 3 months earlier. 31, divorced, no interest in pretending to be younger than she was. She read actual books, not just self-help articles about manifesting your best life. She thought my stability was attractive, not aging. "If she's there, Emma said. You have nothing to apologize for." Sarah was there, standing alone by the kitchen island, looking uncomfortable in a dress that was trying too hard. Her blonde hair had grown out, showing dark roots, and she had the particular exhaustion that comes from burning through your 20s too fast. She spotted me across the room, and I watched her face go through several emotions before settling on something like hope. Emma was talking to Mike about his new job, completely at ease, completely herself. No performance, no desperation to prove she belonged. "She seems nice." I turned. Sarah had approached while I was getting Emma a drink. "She is. I've been thinking about us a lot lately." "Have you? Don't you think we should talk?" "Really talk? About what?" "About how we could try again. I'm different now. I understand what I had." I handed Emma her wine, and she smiled at me, the kind of smile that says she trusts me to handle whatever this is. "You understood what you had when you had it," I told Sarah. "You just thought it made you feel old." "I was stupid, Jake. I was scared." "Don't you miss what we had?" "No." The word came out simpler than I expected. A year ago, I would have missed her desperately. 6 months ago, I would have missed the idea of her. Now, looking at her trying to recapture something she'd thrown away, I felt nothing but a distant kind of pity. "Come on, don't be like this. You loved me." "I did." Past tense. "So that's it. For years means nothing because I made one mistake." Emma glanced over, caught my eye, and I nodded that everything was fine. She went back to her conversation, secure enough not to hover, mature enough not to see Sarah as competition. "You didn't make a mistake, Sarah. You made a choice. You chose someone who made you feel young over someone who actually loved you. But he's gone now. It didn't work out." "I know. So we could what? Get back together because your backup plan didn't work out." That's not what this is. What is it then? It's me realizing I was wrong. You weren't wrong about feeling old with me. You were right. You felt old because you were acting like an adult in a real relationship. That's not what you wanted then. What if it's what I want now? I looked at her, really looked at her. 30 years old, blonde roots showing, makeup a little too heavy, dress a little too young. Still beautiful, but trying so hard to be something she wasn't that she'd forgotten who she actually was. Then you should find someone else who wants to audition for the role. I walked away. Not angrily, not dramatically, just away. Back to Emma, who was laughing at something Mike had said, who looked at me approaching like I was the best part of her evening. Everything okay? She asked. Everything's perfect. And it was. 6 months ago, I thought Sarah leaving meant I wasn't enough. Now I realized I was too much for someone who wanted to feel young instead of building something real. The difference was, now I knew the difference too. I saw Sarah once more that night, watching us from across the room as Emma and I danced to some song that wasn't trying to be cool or young, just a song we both liked. Sarah looked like she was seeing something she'd never understood before. What it looked like when two people chose each other not because they were afraid of getting older, but because they wanted to get older together. Emma squeezed my hand. Ready to go home? Yeah, I said, not looking back. I'm ready. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.